Woman from North Carolina, Mrs. Foxx, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and I want to thank you for the way you have handled yourself in this hearing. But I want to thank Dr. Skop for being willing to put up with some very disrespectful questioning and a very, very disrespectful attitude towards you. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much for doing that. Dr. Skop, have you seen many examples of premature babies born around 22 to 24 weeks who go on to lead healthy lives after receiving treatment? And have you seen the age of these patients decrease as science has advanced?
Thank you, Congresswoman. I have. I've been practicing for 25 years. Around the time that I started, I think that we considered viability, the age at which you could likely resuscitate a baby, that he would have a good chance at survival was around 25, 26 weeks. Currently, we are seeing babies saved in our hospital at 22 weeks. Extraordinarily fragile, extraordinarily sad, heartbreaking for the mothers. Many times I've seen this in association with a shortened cervix, which good studies show us is associated with abortion, particularly multiple abortions. So sadly, women don't know that their choice they make today may cause them to have an extremely premature baby who clings to life later.
Right. Do you believe that the age of viability will get younger as we continue to make scientific and medical progress?
I think it may get a little younger. I think that there's going to be a physical constraint at the point at which the alveoli, where the oxygen come in, and the blood vessels that flow through the lungs can actually pass oxygen. So there may be a hard limit, but it is amazing that we are saving so many babies at just a little over halfway through a pregnancy.
Yes. Dr. Dobbs, Skop, Dr. Skop, in an amicus brief submitted to the Supreme Court as it considers the Dobbs v. Jackson case, 375 women shared in sworn affidavits how they were injured by second and third trimester late-term abortions. Madam Chair, I ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the amicus brief and appendix recording the experiences of these women.
Without objection.
Thank you. Dr. Skop, have you encountered women in your work who've had similar experiences?
I think that a late abortion is exceedingly emotionally traumatic for a woman. She's felt the baby moving. That, regardless of her circumstances, that has got to be the hardest decision to make. They're very dangerous. I'll tell you something else that I'm concerned about. I mentioned coercion. If we have abortion without limits for any reason in this country until birth, a woman who is being coerced toward an abortion has 9 months to fight for the life of her baby. I think many women who have late abortions are women who just got tired of saying, no, 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 I want to keep my baby, which is terribly tragic. One thing that I have seen in Texas from the pregnancy centers that I work with is that women come in for ultrasounds, and when they see the heartbeat, they are very happy because they now know that their boyfriend or their mother cannot coerce them into an abortion because it is illegal. The earlier we set limits, the more we are protecting women from that coercion of losing the baby that they want to carry.
Right. And we see this in the crisis pregnancy centers all over the country. Dr. Skop, I'm going to give you just a few more seconds. I know there are many, you've corrected the record at least once since I've been listening. There are many things that have been said today that have not been true, and I want to see if you would like to correct any more falsehoods that have been said.
I must speak to the statement that was made that pro-life people are racist because we do not want the Hyde Amendment to be overturned and for the government to pay for abortions of children of color. The flip side that we should be considering is that Black women have more than 3 times the abortions of white women. People may not recognize it, but there's got to be a eugenic component here. In the civil rights era of the 1960s, there were approximately 18 million Black people in America. Since Roe, approximately 18 million Black babies have been aborted. It's not racist to want to save those children.
That's a very eloquent statement, and we all know that Planned Parenthood was begun in order to kill Black babies and other children who were unborn that they felt were unfit for this world. And it's important people understand the history of Planned Parenthood.
Gentlemen,
thank you very much. I yield back.
Expired. The gentleman